they are about. The second is the present circumstances, internal or external. And tolerance, compassion, and peace is related to our mental well-being and physical well-being. So it's very much, and I give me a lot of thought and contemplations. How can I combine these things together? Because you know, the level or degree of tolerance, peace, and compassion in each of us is different. And everybody have, you know, deal with the circumstances in different degree also. Some people very get involved. Some people say, it's okay. I take care of myself. And some of us haven't received or learned a lot about the 5 mindfulness training. So this is just give me a big vision that how can we apply the 5 mindfulness trainings in our daily life under any circumstance. It's not only the present circumstances. It's mean everybody think that the circumstances is about the COVID-19, about the weather, you know, the natural weather disaster is happening in Vietnam, and tornadoes in America and another country, and typhoon in Philippines. But you know, the weather we really need to take care is our internal weather. So in the introductory word before the 5 MT, the 5 mindfulness training recitation text says like this: the 5 mindfulness trainings are the basics for the happy life. They have capacity to protect life, to make it beautiful and worth living. They are also the door that opens to liberation and enlightenment. So it means that it's just the introductory word to say that if you practice the mindfulness training, it doesn't matter under any circumstance, you will have peace, you will be protected, you will be safe, and you will have a happy life, because it's it gives you they gives you a tool to live our life in a safe and protected way. So to have a happy life, to protect life, and you know, and we can go to the direction of liberation and enlightenment. Is that all we need? I think so. No, any of us want to have happy life. We want to be liberated. We want to be free. We have, you know. And I think that all of us here tonight very fortunate, because it doesn't matter that you know the 5 mindfulness trainings already or not, but if you're here tonight, it means that we have the inspiration, we have the, you know, the willingness to learn, to have to know how to live our life better. And I think that I mean, for me, it's the best of the most fortunate things that happen to us. So we want to be free from suffering. And every one of us know that the year of 2020 is a very unique year. It's full of surprises. I mean, this is my first time in my life that I experienced the whole year stay in one place, and with all the things, you know, the sickness is spread globally, and everybody use the internet most of the time to work, to practice, and to do a lot of things. For me, I call it surprises, because you know, it's new. They are new, and you know, there's unexpected things happen. It doesn't matter it's bad or good, you know. So if we say it's surprises, it means that you don't criticize that this is a bad news. So we have to fight for it. But when we call the word surprise, it means that, oh, it's like that. So that we don't have to judge, we don't have to blame, we don't have, you know, any objective attitude. And for me, that we cannot avoid from pains, from grief, from uncertainty, from loss, confusion, and because of the, you know, unfortunate things happen. You know, in Vietnam, death, you know, they lost lives more than, you know, in the natural, you know, storm and the flood, more than COVID-19. So people die from the floods, from the storm, and you know, thousand houses been destroyed. And it's so amazing, you know, they find oxes on the roof of the house after the water, you know, been drained away, and they had to take the oxes down to the ground. And especially in central Vietnam, Huế, Đà Nẵng, Quảng Ngãi, they lost lives a lot. So it's and a lot of people hungry right now. So despite all the surprises, we still have a very safe place to return. So I welcome you to return to our safe place. You know, we have a place that we can always feel safe. Right in this body. So I invite everybody, just close your eyes. And in a safe place, right in this body. That is our breathing. Nobody will take away our breath. This is a safe place for us, secure. And nobody can invade. When you return to our breath, just like we're sitting in the room with the door closed, and outside of the house is a storm. The wind make big noises, but inside we sit still and follow our breath with calmness. We feel safe and protected. The present circumstances are the storm outside. Maybe it's a natural storm, or maybe it's our own mental storm. So remember that we always have a safe place to return. That is our home. And, we are not lost in confusion about our life in the present or fear about the future, because we have the way. Can you imagine that the Buddha said that the 5 training rules, if anybody practice the 5 trainings, it's amazing that he used trainings too. It's not a precept. He used trainings. And in the numerical discourses of the Buddha, Anguttara Nikaya, he said that if any of us practice the 5 trainings, will be the good person. A good person will practice the 5 trainings. And I say, if anyone possessed 5 qualities, it will be deposited in heaven. As if brought there. And if anybody possessed these 5 qualities, a lay follower is self-confidence. And he said that what are the 5 qualities? So you can, if anyone can abstain from destruction of life, taking what is not given, sexual misconduct, false speech, indulging in liquor, wine, intoxicants. So it's very brief for these hour trainings. And Thầy expand, make it clear in detail for the 5 trainings. So, when we learn that even the Buddha always taught ourselves to just practice the 5 trainings is good enough, we will go to heaven. You know. And it gave, when I read this, I felt so fortunate and very, have a strong faith in me about the Buddha's words. And can you imagine? Right now, I have 348 precepts to follow. So maybe I'm not sure which heaven level of heaven I will go. But the Buddha said, "Oh, you don't wish to go to heaven. That's bad. I just enjoy the present moment." So it's and Thầy really said that the 5 mindfulness training are a concrete expression of the Buddha's teaching on the 4 noble truths and the noble eightfold path. So this is kind of, for those who haven't heard anything, the Buddhist term like that, so forget it. It's okay. You don't have to know. But the thing is, before we want to know what the 5 mindfulness, how the 5 mindfulness training help us to be with the circumstances. It means that you have to know what is your circumstances right now. Maybe right now for Americans, they're very just like up and down. And, for the USA election, I'm not sure about Trish. Did you do the election? And it's so amazing how people, get involved into the election. And I just sit still and I watch, how people in the Donald Trump, the President Donald Trump say, and Joe Biden say, they're really fighting. And the Buddha said, this is a game of politics. If you get involved in the game of politics, you're not yourself anymore. And you will use a lot of false speech to gain your what you wish. That's relate to the 4th training. And I see that people, I'm not sure that how, when you have power, you despise bad actions. So that's why, when Buddhism to go to any country, it doesn't say any word of political, or about politics. Buddhism, when I go, wherever the Buddhism goes, it just talk about understanding. It just talk about love. It's about peace, how to take care of ourselves. There's no fighting between, sides. So the Buddha never taught us to take in sides, or you have to be a ruler. Even he's a king. He would be a king, but he dropped. So that's why it's the best thing that when we learn about the Buddhism, so that our circumstances for us, you have to know what is your circumstance right now. If outside the world, society is like that, but you have to ask yourself what state of mind that you have right now in yourself. So it depends very much on the energy that you have in yourself. You know, globally, right now in the world, we have natural disaster and COVID-19. Every day in America, they still have 200,000 new cases for COVID-19. But people don't care because of, the fighting for the election. All the rules say, oh, you have to keep the social distancing. There's no way in the protest. No way for the early, especially right now in Bangkok. A big protest. And all the rules that the government give us to keep the crowd not more than 50 people. But, in the protest, it's 1,000 people. What can we do about it? So it means that, the consequences from all of these things is pain, is loss, discomfort, fear, confusion, grief, anxiety, and disappointment, and violence, especially violence happening right now. So this is, we just, this is the consequences that, because of the surprises for new thing, everything, every day. But the thing is, how much you get involved in these things. You can feel that, we will know your energy. If you get involved too much, you will lose yourself. If you can know how to return to yourself, so your energy is different. So you have to have a right understanding. So this is all the factors are present right then. It's how much you get involved in, how much you let yourself be carried away by it. So it's for me that, can you imagine that, the circumstances as it's just like triggers, external triggers, that it can touch your heart, it can lock you down. So this is all the facts right now, happening right now, globally like that. You cannot deny it, you cannot avoid it. And the thing is, you cannot claim for anything. It just happened for this year. So the Buddha said that, we must have the right view of what's happening. You are not be carried away by it. You don't get involved. You whatever happened, when you receive the news, the only thing that the Buddha said, that you return to your safe place. No reacting, no get offended. Because we need a very calm mind to deal with the circumstances like that. It's very much relate to how well we take care of ourselves. internally. Whenever you have mental formations, when we have anger, when we have frustration because of these triggers. Because, depends on if you accumulate the strong energy about the negativities, you can do the wrong action. It's related to, you cannot have so much patience to listen deeply. You don't have enough peace to use loving speech, loving words, and that energy will lead you to say things that it can cause division. And you can, cover up with your frustration, your pain with unmindful consumption. It's very much like that. So it's you have to understand. I have some question for us to contemplate. First of all, that do we know our state and conditions of our habit energy? The physical and mental pattern of our habit energy, basically. Do we know our limitation? And do we know that all the actions and words from people around us will be our triggers and we'll lose ourselves? So this kind of questions that it lets us know our well-being from the habit energy, from the pattern of reaction. What is our limitation in striving? Is mean that that, oh, this is good, I have to do this, I do that. But if we don't know our limitation, we will be exhausted. And we have to know our weaknesses. We know what kind of thing that can trigger us easily, so we can lose ourselves. So this kind of thing that we need a lot of awareness in our daily life to recognize it. The way we speak, the way we react to things, to the words or to the behavior from people around us, from the social society situation. So we have to know that when we need to stop, we try our best. When we just let it go. So this is, we need a degree of calmness in ourselves to recognize it, to be more alert, to feel more about ourselves. So we, because of this suffering is triggered, so we can know. So we stop doing things. We stop doing harmful things to ourselves and people around us. And one thing is we have to remind ourselves that, okay, I am aware of that, so I take it easy. For me, like I'm a very hot-tempered person. When I listen to something that, not right, I react right away. And this is my bad, my negative, my weakness. So I vow that I will slow down and take it easy. But the thing is, you have to be consistent. It means that you take it easy, but you have to be consistent and consciously. You can just like like a chicken. If they want to how you say, when they have eggs, they have to sit on the eggs and keep the eggs warm, so the chick can break the shell and come out. But if the mother chicken sit and then go, sit and go, the chick never come out, because the egg's not warm enough. So our practice is the same. We sit, we practice, be consistent. It means that you be with the practice continuously, because it's a way to retrain our mind that, okay, be aware that destruction of life cause suffering. Be that if I speak falsely, a great suffering. If I steal things, people suffer. And I know that they're suffering. If they're suffering, I suffering too, because we interact. So the energy of mindfulness here is so crucial. And you have to be aware of what's happening around us every moment, consistently. So by, when we do this thing, is the more we practice, we can see ourselves much deeper. We understand ourselves much deeper. Because right now, if you just practice when you suffer, it doesn't work. You have to practice when you're happy also. You have to know that if you don't know how to nourish your happiness, it will become suffering. Because everything, even our happiness is impermanent. If we wish that, just like today, I sit and I feel so happy, I have my mind, my body, I don't feel my body, I feel my mind so free. This is kind of joy when you do sitting meditation, right? And next day you say, okay, I want to do sitting again because I want to have that feeling again. That is greed. Even it's, greed of being have a, want to be happy when in your sitting. But believe me, if you are greedy even in a joy in sitting meditation, it becomes suffering, because you never find it again. You have to remember that every time we do sitting meditation is different state of mind, under different condition, under different physical condition and your mental condition. So maybe today I feel happy, I feel light and very cheerful in my sitting meditation session. But next day, because of I worry a lot of things outside and had to work a lot, so my physical body is tired and my mind is so, like a mess. How can you find joy in sitting meditation like yesterday? It's impossible. So greed is, even greed in practice will lead to suffering also. You have to remember that. So it means that, when the Buddha said that, when we practice, we have to be, even we have to be tolerant to ourselves. We have to know how to make peace with our state of mind and our body. Can you see the picture right now is all the circumstances outside, like in the world like that. And we restricted in a very circum conditions. We had to work at home. We have to stay at home. We cannot go anywhere. We cannot have their mindfulness together. We have to do it online. We have to do everything online. All this enough for us to, to feel frustrated? Yes. But it's not enough for us to take care. The world inside of us is the world that we need to take care. The energy in here, the circumstances that are happening right now in here. So you have to know, you have to know that. So as long as you have to take, how to take care of your internal world, you practice the 5 mindfulness training is much easier. First, because the Buddha said that if you practice the 5 trainings, it's only the good people, good people will do, and it will lead you to happiness. And you know that if you apply the 5 mindfulness training in our daily life, we are safe. We are protected. That is faith. Every one of us, if we do anything, we have to have faith. We know that what we doing is correct. It doesn't lead us to suffering. This is when we practice a 5 mindfulness training, it will be open the door of liberation and enlightenment. That's a big, big promise. But the Buddha said that don't believe right away. You have to do it to test it yourself. So as long as you know your internal world, about your habit energy, about your state of mind, about your pattern, mental pattern of reaction, and your limitation, and what you wish for, your aspiration. And now you have faith that this is the way. This is the way of living that I wished for. If you have this kind of conditions with yourself, in us, we will have no problem to practice the 5 mindfulness trainings. And you have to know that even that, when we practice, we will nourish our compassion, we will nourish our tolerance and peace and compassion in us. So It's not like what is first and what is come later. They go together, remember? So you have to have faith that, okay, this is the path that I want to do. I know that this will help me to have a better life. And I have to be consistent because I want to have a calm mind. I have to have, you know, uh, I want to have a better understanding about myself, about the world, about people around me. So this is faith. So when you have faith, so you learn what are the 5 mindfulness trainings. So I just summarize the 5 trainings. You have to know that in every trainings, you have always the word I am aware. So the keywords in each training is awareness and cause, all the awareness, and then cause and effect. If we do this, we will receive this. And then in each training, it gives you the practice. So awareness, cause and effect, and the practice. So the first mindfulness training is reference for life. That is the opposite side of destruction of life. So Thầy said that we don't destroy life, but we also protect life. That is superior to the good person, the Buddha said. So we abstain from killing, but we also encourage people not to do it, or encourage them to do the same like us. So when we do that, it will increase our compassion in our heart, right? So when we protect life because, we have compassion and we don't kill them, because if we kill any beings, there is suffering. And the root for this act is from fear, from anger, from greed, from intolerance, from dualistic and discriminative thinking. So each training, we have cause and effect. We know that the root of suffering comes from these things. And because we take a good care of our internal world, in our internal, weather circumstance in here, our mental and our physical state. So we know that, do we have anger? We know that we don't have anger. So we will not kill. Right? And if we know that, okay, I have fear right now. So before you can kill, or you do killing, or destruct life, the first thing you do is you take care of your fear. You don't act based on what you have right now, right? I have fear, and then you don't know, and then you do bad things, right? Because you know that your lack of compassion, so you do something that you feel more love, more space in your heart, so you can include more people and all beings in your heart. So the key is you have to take care of yourself. how you are right now. That's the way that you can, you can deal with the present, the current situation with love. So in the training, the practice is you practice openness and compassion, and the way is you have to understand the root of suffering. And so in order to stop doing that, if I know you suffer right now, I won't say or do anything that you make you more suffer, right? The same. So that is a summary for the first training. We still, this is the example for the first training. In Thailand, there's a lot of mosquitoes. I'm not sure, in Malaysia or, in Asian country, they have mosquitoes. Especially here, we in the countryside and trees around. And right now, we have different season. We have different size of mosquitoes. Right now, the size of the mosquitoes, like the fly, is really big. And when it's just like a jet, It's just when it stops, you can feel it. It stops heavily on your head. And that's why it's a big suffering for us when you go for dinner, because dinner time is a time for them have dinner also. They attack us in dinner time. It's terrible. So we have the insect repellents on the table for us to use. But sometimes we feel so annoying, so we snap on it, and I say, go away. But sometimes we have intention to kill it, even with monastic, because it's so annoying. And it's so itchy also. But I am aware that when I intend to kill it, my violent energy come up. And even you see that, oh, it's just a mosquito. But the more I I kill it intentionally, next time I do it automatically without thinking, because anger come up. So this is a very little things that, if you can know inside of you that, oh, just a mosquito. So that's why, after a few times, I could feel my anger, it didn't say that, the violent energy pushed me to snap it. So I was aware of it, and I'm scared. I say, wow, it's just a mosquito, and they act like that. It can stimulate the violence, and not so much because of hate of being itchy, annoying. So I stopped doing that. You have to know that, these all kind, it's just a little things. But if you take care of it, if you don't take care of it, you can do a bigger matter. Because the same trigger, the state of, the form of triggers, like I feel annoying, I feel angry. It doesn't matter the mosquito make me angry or a person make me angry. That kind of energy come up. So from a little things, you can't do a bigger thing. React the same pattern, So you can apply that in, the same to the fourth mindfulness training about speaking, about the word. If you say one time that, the harmful words, the harsh words to the people, next time you do it again. Because the same kind of energy in us, because that person annoying, because that person make me angry. The same to the mosquito. So when we aware this what kind of energy in us, it's easy for us to practice the training and be aware of it. It's, loving speech is relate to the, how strong the trigger is. If the first one, that person I don't like, when I just see that person, what I want to say is a bad thing. Even she didn't say anything yet. If her behavior or his behavior, not to me, but to somebody else, also trigger my anger. So I will say something bad. See? It's hard to use loving speech to people that you don't like. Especially deep listening. There's no way for deep listening. You close the door of your ears already. So if you know your state of mind, say, okay, this my energy like that, I better return to my safe place. Because I cannot listen deeply. Even a word from her drive me crazy already. How can you practice deep listening? So Thầy said that words can create happiness or suffering. So we have to know that are we calm enough when we speak? Do we feel love in ourselves or not? So we speak truthfully, inspiringly, and cheerfully. For me, speaking lovely, or like for example, when I was ordained, my elder sisters, my mentor, say, you don't do that. I never asked why. But right now, if I tell my younger sisters, don't do that, I say, I will not do that. I will not listen to you. You have to explain to me why. You know, the way I've been trained, I cannot apply to the way I train my younger ones now. And I cannot say, oh, you had to do this because of this or do that. I cannot do that. I say, just say, don't do that. Sometimes I have patience. If I'm patient enough, I say, my dear, do this because of that, do that because of this. But if I'm short of patience, say, don't. You know, it depends on our energy and a space in our heart that you can use loving speech. So I learned from a teacher that, you know, when we come together, we don't gossip, we don't using, you know, we don't churching, we don't complaining, we don't criticizing, we don't use harsh words, or we don't condemn things. It's hard. When we come together, we always say, that person's like that, this person like that. We're always churching. And we always criticize it, why he did this. And we worship a lot. And it's just when I, you know, when I realize that, I say, oh my goodness, if we're not aware of it, you know, our speech will be very bad. And somehow I say, what can we do when we just come together? If we just sit still and drinking tea, oh God, the silence so terrible. Can you do that? But the Zen master in the past did that. They could sit together drinking tea without a word. But for us, no. What can we do when we come together? We have to say this, we have to say this and that. If we don't gossip, we will judging people. If we don't judge, we will criticize people. We criticize ourselves. So if you can practice, you know, right speaking, that is also hard already, you know. Unless we make a deal, okay, we come together, we just do singing meditation. We just sharing our practice, our own practice. We don't talk about the third person. We drinking tea in silence. If we make that deal, so our speak will be okay. You know. So our speaking in the fourth training is related to if we have anger, fear, anxieties, that's kind of energy again. Will lead you the way you say things that not mindful. And our teacher said that we need to practice the 4 elements of true love, which is love and kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness. So if we give ourselves, you know, when we gather together, we talk about our future. We talk about the way we practice together. That is also very, very nice. So you have to know that we have to know that the suffering is caused by unmindful speech. and inability to listen to others. So it depends on how much space in our heart and what kind of energy we have, so we can take care of our speech better. For the second and the third one is a true happiness, which is not taking what is not given. So instead of, you don't take what is not given, but you also practice generosity. So if you don't have greed, you can practice generosity. If you're greedy, you cannot everything for me. Even I take yours, So the thing is, why Thầy said that the second mindfulness training is about true happiness. It's about that we know that we have enough conditions to be happy. We have enough. So the thing you have to ask yourself that, do I have enough happiness? Do I have enough material things? Do I have enough clothes? But it's just a minority. The the majority happiness is, am I happy right now? Do I have jealousy right now? Am I confused? This came from, comfort. Do I feel comfort? If you satisfy everything, you can give away things. You can practice sharing. Whenever my sister or my niece wants something from me, say, please, sharing is caring. Because he wants to, he say, oh, if you care for me, you share with me. So that's also the way from children. Sharing is caring. So this is depends on our state of being, our living condition. What we have, we can give. We can practice sharing. So the thing is, we don't take things that belong to others, because when we do that, fear will come, and it will increase your craving. And if we know that right now I have enough things that make me happy, for me right now, that make me happy, already make me happy, is I have my sisters and brothers. I have friends to talk to right now. I have food every day. I have the practice, and I have a big sky for me right now. It's enough. So it depends on how much. You have to know that the more you let go, you have more space in your heart. The thing is, you don't need to have a lot of things around you. But for me, my personal experiences, if my heart have more space, I feel like I'd be more tolerant to people mistakes. I will happier, and I forgive people better. So this is how I share. That's as I offer generosity. It's not material things, but my energy. That is my sharing. You know, I don't take people's space. So I know that I have enough condition that I feel satisfied. So this is the way we practice very much. And the third training is about sexual misconduct. And they put very clear that sexual desire is not love. Is not love. People say, okay, when they have, when they love someone, they have to have sex. That's not true. That's craving and greater suffering for family. So you have to practice true love and kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness. Or you have to make a commitment when you have a relationship. The same. It depends on how much you be aware of your sexual energy. That's all. It's nothing wrong with the sexual energy. Everybody has. But how much alert and aware you are when it comes. That's all. And it just come up in a short period of time. There's people and things, especially from movies, from TV, they can stimulate that energy in us. So the thing is, you have compassion and joy and inclusiveness and love and kindness in you. It's a true love that you can offer to people. You can practice generosity in that way. And the last one is nourishing and healing. It means that the other way is indulging in liquor, drugs, intoxicants. It's about unmindful consumption. And the Buddha shared about the 4 kinds of nutriment, the way what we eat and put our mouth, and what we feed ourselves from our sense organs. And the third one is evolution. And the fourth one is consciousness. How we can feed, what kind of food we feed ourselves every day. So that's why when we feed ourselves, it's a good volition. Like today, I determined to do my work slowly. I stop talking when I get angry. I will practice walking meditation from my house to the bus stop. That's the evolution. And the more you do, you water the mindfulness seeds of mindfulness in us more and more. That's consciousness food. You water the seeds from your store consciousness. So if you do, you have a bad, or you forgetful, you water the forgetfulness seeds in us also. Especially sense expression, what you see, what you hear, it can trigger. For example, right now, if you really listen or watching too much news on TV or on the website, through our eyes, our ears, we will not have a very good evolution food. It will water seeds of fear, confusion, anger in us very much. And the more you do it, as the touch, it makes that seeds in our store consciousness stronger. So you need to let go. So this is very related to our habit energy. Sometimes we feel lonely, we have unmindful consumption. And the key for all of these is how to live, how to draw happily in the present moment. How can you live your present moments deeply? That's the question. So it's I know that the 5 mindfulness training, that it's just like the tools for us to take care of ourselves from our body, speech, and mind very much. And I say it again, it doesn't matter what kind of energy you have, what kind of, despite whatever circumstances that you facing, if you practice well these 5 trainings and you take a good care of your internal world, your mind, your body, so you will be more tolerant. You will have your mind will be more peaceful, and you know that you should do what you will know what you should do and what you should not do. So for things right now is uncertainties that we talk about it a lot. So instead of you say uncertainty, we change to surprises. Make it better. So you have to know that uncertainties are unexpected. The surprise is the same. Why don't we use a better word to feel better? So bad condition, good conditions, bad news, good news, we cannot control them, right? Can we control them? What we can control is here, our heart right now. So yes, it's usually say that we cannot change people. We can change ourselves only. We cannot change the condition outside, but we can change the condition inside. It doesn't matter whatever happened outside, but we can train ourselves how to deal with it. So somebody give you, just like the Buddha said, that when someone give you a gift, you don't take it. So where the gift come back to the, of course, to the person who giving gift, right? So people say bad things, you don't take it. So the gift come back to that person. If the world, there's so much cause outside, it depends on how much we involve in it. So you have to one thing I really believe that happiness doesn't depend totally from external conditions. And we have to know that all the, not peaceful things or surprises all around us anytime. So as long as we have no desire whatsoever, take a very good care of what's coming to us and live deeply in the present moment. Be courageous. Everything will be okay. So the 5 mindfulness trainings give us the way how to take care of our mind, but take care of the body, mind, and speech. So you have to check your internal energy, your perception, and your view, what you believe is wrong or right. You allow it happen or not. Plus practice the 5 mindfulness training. So your peace, you will maintain peace and understanding, love and tolerance in ourselves very much. So whatever you do, you have to know that everything is impermanent. Maybe COVID-19 lasts for a year or two, but it won't last very long. We stuck at home, okay, but it will not last very long. We will have their mindfulness together again in person, not online, And we will come to Thailand, Plum Village, Thailand for the retreat again. Oh, I cannot imagine that day happen. I will be the happiest person on earth. So you have to know that our practice is a process of learning. Sometimes it's down, sometimes it's up, but it's okay. But be consistent. That's the key. And the 5 mindfulness training give you all the tools so you can practice. So, well, take step by step. Be patient to yourself, with yourself. And increase, the more you practice, you will increase your faith. That is your power. You have that real power. Faith is a real power. You believe that you can be at peace. You can be compassionate. That's faith. Faith in yourself. And when you have faith, you have energy to do. And be aware, be still, and you know what to do. That is a 5 real power that everybody possesses. You don't take possess that belong to others. You have a real power in us. Faith, diligence, mindfulness, concentration, and insight. Everybody has that. So that is a true, the quality of a true practice. So thank you so much for your deep listening today. And I hope that my sharing tonight is clear enough. I see that this kind of sharing is not only for you, but it's also for me. So I contemplate, and I always ask myself, what is the best way that I can explain this topic clearly and more and understandable? Did you understand what I say tonight? Oh, good. So I can have a good sleep tonight. Okay, thank you so much. You're listening.
So our gratitude to Suko for the insightful Dharma talk. As always, there are so much of important reminders for us with regards to Divine Mindfulness Trainings. So dear Sangha, may I now invite you to sit up and bring our body and mind back to the present moment. We're to have our breath. We'll now do the dedication of merits. May we share the merits of today's Dharma talk and our collective energy of coming together. All these merits we dedicate to all beings who are having difficulties and experiencing suffering in one way or another. And for all beings who are not able to find peace and joy within themselves, may we dedicate all this positive energy to them. May this dedication also be for our own practice of the 5 mindfulness trainings. May we be ever diligent and patient with ourselves on this path. With that, let us share merits together. Practicing the training, practicing the way of awareness, give rise to benefit without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along the path. Thank you. Maybe I will invite everyone to unmute yourself and we can say goodbye to each other. Thank you, Sister Luong Nghiem, once again.
Thank you, Suko. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Suko. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.